all things Pelicans. You're now tuned into the Pelican post game report. What's poppin', fam? Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the latest installment of PPR. We up in this thing talking Pelicans. Shout out to the diehards out there. Appreciate y'all for joining in the stream tonight. We'll be talking some Pelicans, covering some topics, man. Y'all kick back, chill. We about to talk some Pels, man. So y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. Thank you, brother Michael. What's poppin', Flock? Thank you for your super chat. Thank you. Fuck too kind. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, we got some stuff to talk about to the Flock. As y'all come in, please feel free to hit the like button, man. Hit the sub button if you're not a sub, and please feel free to share the show on your social media feed. If you're listening via X, hit the retweet button, man. We in here talking Pels, man. What's popping? We got DC and Lex in the building tonight. What's going on, Lex? How you doing? DC fam, what's popping?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
All right, Lex. Shout out. All right, shout out to you, Lex. DC, are you there, sir? How's that? How's the weather on the island, sir?
Let me check my phone.
Just look out the window.
Is it a specific city you want to know about?
The city you're in, isn't it?
Let me see the weather right here in New Orleans.
No. Wait.
Well, it's 78 degrees outside right now.
All right, thank you, DC. Appreciate that.
That's pretty cool for the city. You know, got that 100% humidity, man. So.
That's right. Yeah, much love, DC. Appreciate the weather report.
Doing good here, man. Matter of fact, what's the weather like where you at? Isn't it 78 degrees over there too?
It doesn't matter, brother. We know I'm in America, sir, so it's all good. All right, so anyway, let's talk some Pels tonight, man. All right, of course, it starts off as Zion shining in China. Zion was called break dancing. And dunking the ball. He put on the show for the people.
Break dancing.
Hey, I'm glad it wasn't like a ray gun from Australia, though.
Hey, hold up. Wait, what hand? That's the right hand.
Okay. Y'all okay. You know what? This is sad, man. When we analyze like every single detail.
Look.
What shoes he wearing?
I don't care about the shoes. The last shoes he had was ugly. I'm waiting for the new one. I got a pair of the tools, though. Them tools was fire. I went supported Zion on them tools.
All right, so there you go, Zion moving around doing stuff in China.
It would have been tight if he would have threw this in.
But Zion looks good, though, man. He looked like he having some fun out there, man. He was dribbling around. Showing some stuff. Lex, you seen him with the fadeaway too, man. Zion was a little working there, man. What you think about Zion's little fadeaway?
Oh, it was nice. I mean, and he didn't hesitate. It looked like it was natural. It was first nature to him,
right?
And that's really good. So, I mean, I hope that that's a huge sign of what's to come. Because really, it looks like he's picking up where he left off from, against the Lakers. So I like that. What? Oh, you crazy, man.
I think Zion did a lot better, man, to be honest.
Yeah, he did.
They had a woman on a swim team. She went underwater, bro, and did that whole thing underwater.
Yeah, she did. And you know what? It looked epic, crazy. Too. It looked epic. Yeah, she's on the sink.
Where she did
the sink swimming team.
Oh,
and she took this and made it 100 times. I like it. It was actually a nice routine underwater. I
know, right? I'm like, damn.
That's hard. I couldn't even imagine. I mean,
underwater.
Yeah, man.
100 times better than what she did out the water.
Yeah. I mean, and she killed it.
You know what I'm trying to figure out, though? Who let her in the show? Like, how the hell did she qualify?
What? I'm surprised a certain group of people weren't up in there, though.
Oh,
know what I'm talking about.
Come on, now.
What?
Come on now, Lex.
We know the origins of breakdancing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're the best in the world as long as we don't compete with the people who created it.
Exactly. And then guess what? They took it out. They're taking it out for LA.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And them
And
boys
I'm
come
like,
through that talking,
interesting.
they would have tore it down.
Oh man. Like
What?
man, they have battles over here all the time with breakdancing. And you telling me that wasn't enough melanin out there, man.
All right.
You know that the pinnacle is the Chinese got it on lock. So they're gonna try to have the little Chinese hip hop people come through, but they can't handle LA. Start getting to some of these chocolate cities.
Because
Right.
I mean, hey, think about New York. I mean, obviously LA, you got a whole lot of something up in LA, but that's like, come on, man. I'm gonna need y'all to know the origins of breakdancing.
Pretty much any metropolitan city.
Hold on, do you see? Let's jump to Pels, man. I just threw that in there, man, just to kind of.
You brought it up, man.
I know. You know what I'm saying?
Any mag as we comment on it?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
come
not
on,
mad.
man. Come on, man.
Let's hit it up,
Let's
man.
go, come on, let's
Come
move
on, man.
Let's move on.
DC, you messy, man. You know that DC kind of messy, man. Pelicans star Zion Williamson looks ready for the regular season in 2025 NBA dunk contest after his dunk in China went viral. Pelican star Zion is going viral for a unique dunk he pulled off overseas on NBA tour with his Jordan brand that stopped in China. Video stars Williamson dribbling in circles while sitting at the free throw line before jumping up and converting a reverse dunk off the dribble. It went crazy too, man. We showed that. And of course, they showed NBA All-Stars Luka Doncic, Paolo Banchero, and Boston Celtics champion Jason Tatum were alongside Zion and Jordan Brands overseas. Zion's break dancing into a reverse dunk certainly gave the crowd a memorable moment. And Pelicans family members seeing Williams in such great shape is exciting, right? So, they mentioned what Stephen A. had said, but at the same time, man, it'll be pretty awesome. They even say, will Zion participate in the 2025 NBA dunk contest? Clamor from NBA All-Star to partake in All-Star Saturdays nights. I would say no to this. I would say definitely hell no to this.
Zion said, he said he possibly would. He said that last year. They asked him if he would be in a slam dunk contest. He said, look, if I make the All-Star game, yeah, I'll probably do it. But that's more important. You got to handle your business first.
Yeah,
like basically saying he don't want to be in a slam dunk contest if he not an All-Star. Like, what's the point? Because if Zion go, I mean, he pretty much gonna win it. They ain't got nobody. It would be nice to see, like, if it was like him, Ja, Anthony Edwards. That would be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Anthony
you had like
Edwards
Trey Murphy in there or something too. Man, everybody will watch. But outside of something like that happening, if Zion going there, man, it's an automatic win.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that it there. It would see superstars in the dunk contest again, man.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome, man.
The All-Star whole weekend is just, I mean, did y'all watch it?
Yeah, I always watch it. I mean, yeah, I actually enjoy it. But I mean, one thing I don't like about it is the fact that, man, I think Kobe was probably like the last one, maybe KG.
Yeah, when they started doing them teams,
like, they really played hard. Like, they competed, man. Like, even it's like, I don't understand why guys want to badly want to get there, but then they get there and it's like y'all don't even play.
They want to get there because it makes more money, Lex. Like, they built this into their contracts and stuff now. So, like, once they make it, that's okay. That's all they care about. That little, what's the winner get? 500,000 or 100,000, 200,000, whatever.
Apparently, the money ain't
they don't
even
care
moving.
about that.
It's like, can you give that money to me then? Because instead of me watching it, I mean, because it's like they, the money don't even move them for real.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like this, man. Like, do y'all love the game? Like, because I think my mentality is anytime I step on the floor, I don't care if it's street ball, if it's a pickup game, if it's an organized game, I'm playing. I'm going to go out there and compete. You know what I'm saying? And it's like guys just don't have that type of love for the game no more.
Yeah, that's a lot of it's a lot of the contract. Things have changed, and no doubt about it, from what it used to be. I remember Jordan, Dominique, those contests. Even the Vince Carter was doing his thing. T-Mac was in there.
Yeah.
So to see Zion do that, maybe he can create a new wave where some of the stars will kind of go back to the dunk contest, and we won't see some of the like backup players doing it.
Oh, shoot. We seeing G League guys.
Yeah. Guy can't even make the squad anywhere, but he the dunk contest.
Yeah, he can't make no squad.
But he can.
And you know what? He's working his butt off. That dude's working his butt off to play in the league and everything. And it's like
it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Let's move to this next article right here, fam, that we got up here. This also kind of correlates with the Zion health thing we talk about here. Pelicans news: Carmelo Anthony gets 100% honest on Zion Williamson's big weight loss. And Zion recently went viral for photos of him looking remarkably slimmer than before, drawing reactions from the basketball community. Carmelo Anthony, one of the more notable NBA personalities who noticed Zion Williamson's newfound body during a recent episode of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Kid Merrill, the 10-time NBA All-Star lauded Williamson for cutting down the weight, but added that he needs to be consistent with it to help his career in the long run. And this is pretty much what Melo said. He said he looked like he was in the best shape of his life, but it's not getting in shape. It's remaining in shape. It's remaining fit. No, you're going to get there, but you are going to keep that going. Are you going to do what you need to do to keep that? You being locked in. How are you going to do it? It's a long season, and you really got to put the work in to remain that way. There are no days off. And that's Melo kind of giving them the game on that. And pretty much, a lot of the criticism from people before, all of the ESPN folks and all that. Fully fit Zion Williamson is the key to New Orleans Pelicans' fortune. Believe it or not, Zion Williamson is coming off the healthiest season of his career, as he played 70 regular season games, averaging 23 points a game, just under 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.1 on the steals, on 57% shooting from the field. However, he was unavailable when the Pelicans need him the most, as Williamson didn't play a single game during the first round playoff series against the Thunder, in which they were swept. Many argue that if Zion Williamson is 100% fit by then, the Pelicans would have been more competitive against the OKC Thunder. No doubt about it. A healthy Zion Williamson changes everything for the Pel Nation. He changes every damn thing. So the whole thing is him doing what he's doing, and we seeing how fit Zion Williamson is. I actually think we're here now, like with Zion, all of the stuff that's been happening, his maturation with his family, all of the stuff he had to go through, the criticisms and all of this stuff. And then being healthy during the off season, having Amy Atmore, which is another big key to this thing that we often talk about, having her here is a big help for him to stay healthy. And I do think that Zion Williamson will remain fit. And this damn sure is going to help the Pelicans' fortune. If Zion is there, man, the sky's the limit for the New Orleans Pelicans. DC, you want to chime in, then Lex, on the topic of 100% Zion Williamson, brother?
Yeah, I mean, you don't sound like Melo hating or nothing. Maybe it's one of them things he's trying to pass a message to him through the media because he don't really know him per se. But he's absolutely right. Zion has been yo-yoing with his weight, the whole time in the league. Stories of him basically when he came into Duke, they wanted him to get down or maybe pick up some muscle and then had to get his weight down. Who knows how true that is? But in the NBA, we've seen Zion get bigger and bigger every year, and everybody tried to act like it wasn't an issue on his team. And I think now with the history that we have with his injuries and him actually getting hurt in the playing game, because the whole thing was he wanted to lose weight, but he still wanted to have enough weight to where he can be at advantage with the way that he plays. Obviously, you don't want Zion to be 230 playing the way he plays. I mean, he doesn't. I think maybe he probably still could pull it off at 230. It might be a little too small. But 260, 270 range is probably about where you want to see him at. And if he gets there, then that will be the next challenge to stay there, because you can fast, you can run, you can diet, you can do all of these things to cut weight. But once you get to that weight, you can't just do the things you were doing before, because you're going to go right back to it. It's a lot easier to maintain it than it is to get down to that weight. But maintaining it mentally is harder, because you really have to change the way you were living your life. You can't go back to doing the things you were doing once you get to the weight, or you're going to wind up with all that weight right back on you.
Lex, you want to add to that before we jump into our topics for the night?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for Zion was to find the weight that works. I go back to the interview that he had with JJ Redick on Old Man and the Three.
Right.
And that's one thing that he stated, was finding that weight. And I think in trying to find that weight, he was also dealing with injuries, which rehabbing is not getting in shape. It's rehabbing. You know what I'm saying? So that you can take the next steps to get in shape. So I just think that, like DC said, you know, it's been like a yo-yo for him with his weight. But obviously, injuries can throw a wrench and break all that up. And then it's like, I got to start all over again. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then depending on where the injury is, or, you know, and all that stuff, you know, you have to re-strengthen those muscles. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, especially with the hamstring, a lot of you're overusing the muscles on the other leg. And it's like that with any part of your body. If your foot is out, that means your other foot is going to be compensating for the foot that's down at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff, because he does have a unique body. Zion doesn't have the traditional basketball body. So his body's very unique. And by it being unique, you know, trying to find that happy medium, the weight that works, that was the first thing. And then now that thing is, okay, now I need to consistently have this weight. Because changing his weight throughout, like, you know, the next few seasons or anything like that, that's going to hurt him just as well. It definitely has to be consistent. And that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody who's in their early 20s, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and you have to be disciplined, you know, at a professional level to keep your body like that. That's not an easy thing. I forget, LeBron, he had an interview and he talked about that. And one thing that he said is that to be a superstar, it really has to be a full out dedication. Like that's the only thing. You have to focus on that. And I mentioned that because it's everything. It's your body. It's the way that you eat. It's your lifestyle. It's everything. Like, in order for you to really be, like, for Zion to be as big as we all know that he can be, he really has to go to a whole nother level of dedication, determination, and just focus. And, I mean, that's the price of greatness. You know what I'm saying? You may have to, miss a, cheat day. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's no days off. You know what I'm saying? You can't think like, okay, well, I have a cheat day. Like, no, that's the price of greatness. If you want to achieve that greatness, like, he has to become like tunnel vision. Like, this is what I'm trying to do for the rest of his career.
Yeah, it's definitely that, man. And the moment he does that, man, and I think he's on the right path. If you guys agree with me, I think that he's heading in the right direction because all of this is pretty much based on his health in terms of him being a centerpiece. I mean, he's damn near unstoppable when his mind is made up. You know, they have to collapse on him, and you got shooters everywhere. When he's at his best, the Pelicans are they're going to be a juggernaut, man. So I just getting him there is the big part of the game, man. So I think we're trending in the right direction. Healthy during the off season, going into the season, Camelo said, and looks like in the best shape of his career, no doubt about it. This is what it's all about. It has to have been frustrating like last year because he worked his ass off the prior year to get to that point, and then the play-in game gets hurt in the play-in game, and he was cooking, knocking LeBron on his ass, shooting the ball over Anthony Davis. Pelicans was on their way to winning that.
Getting double teamed by LeBron and AD. That's the two best players on the team.
Couldn't stop them. You know Pelicans they were going to win that game, and then he steps
top 10 players in the league. Yep,
and that was it. He was out of there. So, I mean, yeah, that has to drive you like, man, I'm sick of this. We got to do whatever we got to do. Well, I need you to be in this weight, and then you got to Amy Atmore working with him. So that's a big part of the development. So I think we trended in the right direction. Everything is based on him going at championships, whatever we got. It's all based around this man. He has to be there to build that camaraderie and that harmony to keep doing what we got to do, man. A lot of people here. We got to push it. All right, so let's move into this section of it, y'all. Let's kind of speed it up a little bit. I got a few questions that we're gonna go over in this breakdown. I want some of the family members as well to kind of chime in the chat, let us know right here what we're going to talk about. So the first topic, Lex, to talk about here, we're going to throw a little BI in the mix, right? We're going to throw a little BI in the mix. And this is the first question here is, what would Brandon Ingram's new role be in the Pelicans offense for the upcoming season? You start us off, Lex.
Well, I think definitely I think he's going to be playing more into a role as far as like the obvious is shooting threes, spacing the floor. That was the biggest thing with him. So I'd like to think that that's going to be a big deal. I think I'm not sure about as far as what type of actions we're gonna see as far as like if the ball is in DeJounte's hands as far as pick and rolls and things like that. But that is a possibility that perhaps we will see that more. I don't know how much often how much we'll see it, but I'm pretty sure they'll make attempts. But I think really most of the action will probably come from DeJounte and Zion and, just spreading the floor. And then is he, obviously the catch and shoot, from wherever he is. I think that's another big step for him. And that's really going to, pay dividends on this team because I think a lot of times Brandon, he catches the ball and he'll dribble in when he's open, but he'll dribble into a tougher shot. And it's like, dude, you got to make the game easier for yourself. Make it easy. Sometimes you don't always have to dribble. Just be ready to shoot. We saw it. We saw glimpses of it, throughout the season, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't consistent. But I would definitely, something's wrong when all your shots are tough. It's great that you can shoot tough shots, but you don't want every shot that you're putting up to be tough. That's crazy. The whole purpose of the game is to make the game easy. And so I think those are the biggest things, shooting threes and from wherever he is, whether it's mid-range, whether it's behind the arc, be ready to catch and shoot. Analyze the situation and catch the ball and just put it up. Sometimes you don't need that dribble. Because if that space has already been created, the whole purpose of dribbling is to create space. If the space is already there, then there's no need to dribble.
DC, my brother, what you think about that? Which was your answer to that question, brother? What role would
y'all gonna be mad at me? Bi's role on the team this year is the same as his role on the team last year. Bi is going to be featured as a borderline 1B alongside Zion. This is the same thing that's been going on when he was here. What I think will play to an advantage, I do think there's some truth to us having a point guard and in the way Bi plays, as far as him taking some of those catch and shoot opportunities as well as more threes. We have evidence for it. He played differently with Lonzo Ball the 2 years they played together. And Drew Holiday as well. You know, he was on the 2019 team. It's a different Bi. So I think he will take less tough shots. With the amount of talent we have on his team, adding DeJounte Murray, which is another lethal weapon, there's really no excuse for him taking those tough shots unless you needed to. Okay, you want to take those tough shots, you can be the guy. Let's say we're in the Florida offense. Zion ain't got nothing going. We didn't have other looks. Okay, it's 10 seconds left. Let's dump it to Bi. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the time to take those shots. And I think with DeJounte at point guard, you'll see that. So you'll see a more efficient version of Bi, but that leads me back to what I keep saying that nobody want to think about. Let's say Bi takes 5-6 threes a game. His mid-range is still as lethal as it is, and he gets that more under control with not using it, you know, I guess not as much, but when needed. And he's attacking the paint. And this dude has, what Stacy put in the chat, 24, 5, and 5. He do that, get 24, 5, and 5. Do you still really want to trade him? He's shooting at 38, 40% from three-point line, 50% mid-range, 80 some odd percent from free throw line. You still want to trade him? I mean, he's going to be very tradable then. So it's in our best interest to get him to play the way that he played in 2019 if we want to get rid of him. The problem comes, let's say Bi shows you he can do all the things that we think he can't do no more for whatever reason, because after 2019, let's say he lost athleticism, he had a few injuries, whatever it is, but he shows that he can do these things. That's the one time I got to back off of what I said about him getting $50 million. If Bi come out and show he could do that and he plays his best ball, somebody will give him $50 million. But it's got to be at that three-point line. And then with the team that we have, just looking at, if we go back and look at the 2019 season, the one thing I can say about him shooting more three-pointers, he had certain spots where it seemed like he liked the ball, and Lonzo Ball knew what those spots were. So if he can get some type of camaraderie with DeJounte Murray, which these are two guys that's been knowing each other a long time. They are in California right now. The whole team now, even Zion. Somebody usually is always missing. You know the one person missing? Who is it, Lex? Daniel Tice, right?
You mean he's not in China?
What? Oh yeah, Zion is in China. That's right. But I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be there, right? Damn, I forgot that fast. I just went with they said everybody was gonna be there.
Zion's in China and
so much confidence. I'm like, dog.
They took a break from the camp so Zion could go to China, and they're gonna pick it back up because they said everybody would be there. Remember, but nonetheless, Bi and DeJounte are there. Those are two guys that have chemistry with each other, and I just don't see it as like Bi is gonna be some forgotten about guy, and they're gonna treat him like a player that's getting traded. You're gonna see Bi get the same level of respect and basically attention to the game plan as we've normally seen.
All right.
Green is our coach. I don't know what big offensive strategy we supposed to just
Okay,
I
DC.
mean,
all of a sudden, I don't see
I'll
it.
have to
Start hating,
disagree
DC.
with you. Like,
At the pick and
you
roll,
said if he was making some stats, doing well and everything, give him the 50 mil. I still would not do that.
No. You heard me wrong, Lex. I said if BI is playing at that level, somebody will be willing to give him 50 million. We can't give him 50 million.
Okay.
We can't do it.
Well, see,
But that's why I say it's going to bring
the
us to a dilemma, because I think if he play like that, David Griffin and people, they're not really going to want to trade him. But it's like, what do you do? We can't give him 50.
I mean,
You got to get him. You can't pay him.
Yeah, but the fact that you said that, because obviously they're not going to pay him. Let's think about that. The Pelicans are not going to pay Brandon the 50 mil. So with that being said, his role would have to change because he's not in the foreseeable future.
His role will not change because he's not in the foreseeable future, because they're trying to trade him. So it would be in their best interest to make Brandon Ingram look as best as possible, even if it's fake gold, Lex. Even if it's fake.
The thing is that it's the same thing as last year. It's the same mentality. Because if Brandon is trying to prove his value, just like it's the same situation. Nothing has changed.
No.
So it's like, so how is that going to affect the team?
It has changed. We got a point guard now, so I think him getting his will be a lot easier, because you got to remember, a lot of times when you really look at the game, who would you say our best point guard kind of option was? Other than Zion, because we could say Zion, but I've seen games where Zion, when Zion is tired, him playing point Zion don't look the same to me, right? But other than that, then yeah, I'll say Zion. But for the overall duration of the game, we see BI kind of being a facilitator, and a lot of times you're like, damn, we went a whole quarter, BI didn't shoot. Like, what's going on? Him trying to open up stuff for other people, and going and picking his spots where he get his, taking these tough shots. It just was not a good look overall.
That's too much.
But he was our best facilitator. He's a better point guard option than CJ. Yeah. So with him not having to do that, I think you can look back and you can see BI playing closer to that 2019 form. Will he be exactly that? I don't know. But is the opportunity for him to do that is there, because he's going to have less pressure.
I don't think it's going to be the same, because you have to think that was a different system.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a different coach.
That's true.
You got to, Willie Green is all about defense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's not going to be like that.
Well, I mean, they run a similar philosophy as far as getting shots up quick. Willie Green don't mind you doing that. It's supposed to be intelligent shots. So, I mean, there are some similarities to the Alvin Gentry system, because that was predicated on kind of the same thing, and getting out and running. It's different, but, I think it has some similarities to it, the way it's not impossible.
All right, let's move on to the next one, fam. Does having a stellar backcourt of Murray and Jones compensate for not having a true center option? You start us off, Lex.
Yeah, that's Lex thing right there.
Well, and I was focusing on just the defense, but I think it's a yes or no. Because basically, if anybody gets past Murray or Jones, the pressure is going to have a ripple effect on the front court, and henceforth, guys may get in foul trouble, or if they're not locking guys down, it's like, well, who else are we leaning on? I think the pressure. There's already automatic pressure on Zion in that front court. Because obviously, he's a 4. Everybody's talking about him being in that 5 spot, which I think from weak side help. I think Zion will do very well. But up front, like, I think a lot of people just still don't understand, man. You can't teach height. You can't teach height. Small ball is going to be effective, but it's only effective in certain situations. Um, but I definitely think Herb, like on the ball, he's definitely going to do his thing, especially when he's weak side as well. But just the compliment that having Murray there and them working together, I think it helps. But once guys get past them, that's when it gets really interesting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
And we've seen where even though, and this is Herb by himself, even when Herb is doing well defensively, we've seen the team not do well. Like collectively, and that's just with Herb out there. So, you can't stop anybody. Like, especially because we struggled with like shifty guards. And obviously you can't truly stop anybody. You can just, kind of slow them down. So with that being said, there's always going to be, hiccups when it comes to like somebody driving in the lane and getting past Herb, getting past Murray. Why you put that up?
Because
Oh,
of Sean.
I'm like, okay, what's going on? What'd I say? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's gonna be in question at times, because I mean, it's really gonna depend on the discipline that the other guys have on the defensive end. Because obviously, with Murray out there and Herb out there, the defense in the backcourt is a whole lot higher. But really the rotations, like who's out there at the time, like in the lineup, it may depend on that. But there's definitely going to be pressure. It's going to be up and down. I say definitely from the start. Maybe they'll clean it up, but collectively, like the others are really going to have to step it up to take that pressure off, so it's not as lopsided.
All right, DC, you want to chime in, brother? Question, man. Having a stellar backcourt with Murray Jones compensate for not having a true center. And shout out to Dave. Dave says, why don't you think Messi has skills, blocks, and defense? And so, and that's a question we'll answer after we get through a couple of these questions, Dave.
Yeah, Dave say Messi reminds me of Elijah Wan. Yes, I'm old. I remember Elijah Wan visiting UH campus. God damn, Dave. Elijah Wan? I didn't see anything that was Elijah Wan as other than the fact that he's from Africa.
Okay.
He don't have that type of coordination. But anyway, I don't think Messi is horrible. I just think he needs some time, man. And
he
talking
needs
about
experience.
defense. He needs experience, and you talking about defense. To me, he's just not there rebounding. Like that simple aspect to his game needs major improvement. And until he can be a high quality rebounder, how good of a defender can he really be if he can't secure the last possession of defense? So until he get that and figure out all the little small intricacies and tricks to banging down low, I think we do best playing him in spot minutes to get him some time. But to answer the question, I think they can, but I don't think it's dependent upon DeJounte and Herb. If they're really going to maximize those guys and we're going to play without a center and all of this, it has to be the whole team. Because you can't look for DeJounte and Herb to cover up everybody's mistakes. But what I will say is if the other two guys out there are playing really good or really solid defense, when there is a mistake, you have a guy like Herb that can be an eraser and step over, help, and erase that mistake. And then you can see something like this work. And it's not that far off, to be honest, because we already see Herb do it. We're not a team that allows other teams to get to the basket a lot. We're like top 5 or I think top 10 at shot attempts in the lane. So we don't let people get to the basket. You heard Larry Nance talk about this a lot, who's another guy, that obviously helped with that. He said everybody talks about us not having a shot blocker, but why would we need this magnificent shot blockers if guys aren't getting attempts in the paint? And I mean, he's got a valid point.
Yeah.
Now, when you get in the playoffs, to me, is where all of this goes to shit. That's why I sit up here and I always talk about, man, look, I'm all for the no center lineup, whoever they want to play. Y'all don't want Zion out there. I say put him out there, but not major minutes, obviously, not every matchup, obviously. But I think they can do this very well in the regular season. But when you get into the playoffs, a lot of that can be exposed, man, especially when you're playing top level teams with amazing talent all the way across the board. Everybody's got a hole, and whoever can exploit the other team the most is obviously going to win that series. And you got to have some otherworldly players to overcome that. Hint, the Warriors. We're not the Warriors. They were able to do it without this top tier center. But man, it's Steph. Man, this dude hit shots from half court like how people hit regular threes. Then you got Klay Thompson, that's a sharpshooter, one of the best shooters ever in NBA history. And you got Draymond Green, who's 6'4", 6'5", or 6'6", whatever, guarding centers and doing it well. So, man, I think during the regular season, we can do this. Herb, DeJounte are excellent guys at covering up mistakes, but it's dependent on the other three guys that are out there at least handling their matchups solidly. They can't just be getting cooked. Then it'll never work. We have to operate as a unit. And then the next thing we have to do, we would have to figure out our rebounding. It is super imperative if we're going to do that we got to, I know the whole thing is, Lex, we got to rebound. If they can rebound, it'll work, and we can be a top tier defensive unit in the regular season. That you run across somebody like your Embiids and your Jokers who just goes sit down there and try to exploit that shit every play until you figure it out. But I think it's possible, and I think it's in our best interest to do that with the way the roster is, barring that a guy like Mirotic, Mekovic, I don't know why I keep calling him Mirotic, man. Nico still on the brain after all these years, huh? Makovic or Mises or Jameson, one of those guys steps up and just shows you something that you knew that could possibly be there, but you weren't sure if it was going to reach its potential. If they play above expectations, we might not even have to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man, watching this stuff happens, man, to be honest with you, because I think we'll see this backcourt at some point. Now, I know you got the big money backcourt of having CJ with his 33 and a third out there, but at some point you will see Murray and Herb Jones, and a lot of people are excited about that.
Because Willie Green is a defensive guy, so
I appreciate the excitement.
He's probably salivating over that.
Right.
My bad, DJ. Carlo, I'm gonna just say Carlo. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. We got DJ in there. He's a Carlo
Makovic. I was saying his name wrong, DJ. I was saying Makovic.
You saying Mises? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeeves Misi?
Yeah, I don't think
you put an S on that, brother. You put an S on that.
He got two S's in there.
That's just DC's accent.
I'm gonna say Mrs. That's what it looks like.
No, brother. That's DC's accent. Go ahead, Lex.
Nah, DJ said, we do have centers, and he started laughing. Yes, you have centers, but at the same time, you don't have centers. Okay? In that same breath.
Can you break that down?
Yeah, yes, I can.
You translate on that one.
Yeah, yes, I can.
Okay.
You have Makovic, who has not played not one game in the NBA. You have Yves Misi, who has not played a lot of basketball. He played basketball late, so he needs reps. Anyone who has a lot of experience they are going to attack the living snot out of that dude. And he's going to get in foul trouble. The smart centers that are in the league will attack him. Okay? They will. They'll have have done their due diligence. Then you have, Tice. Obviously, Tice does have a lot of experience, but he is 6'9". So when you look at the grand scheme of things, like name any of our centers, right? Name any of them, and name a center from another team. Just any of them.
Wait.
Are Messi, Wemby, Messi, Jokic, Messi, Gafford. Who are you taking?
Gafford.
I'm just saying, like, think about, come on, we have to, but you got to be real about it. You got to be real about the situation. Like,
what about what if we have a guy that can play up to the level defensively of like Bam Adebayo? Like, he's kind of undersized, but what, at 6'9", 6'8"?
But the experience level that he has is like really high. The dude's gone to the finals like twice.
No. That's fine, Lex. But do you remember Bam Adebayo when he was a young buck? I mean, he still showed all of the potential we have now, and that's the one thing he could do from the very beginning, which was defend and rebound.
Yeah, they had another center.
His offensive game is what grew. I feel you, Stacey. We don't have Bam Adebayo. We don't. But yeah. I'm just saying, we haven't seen these guys play. I haven't seen Carlo play anybody in NBA minutes. I ain't seen Yves, Messi.
I did see anybody, man.
We saw him in the summer league, but I can tell you this though, Lex.
But I will say, playing around better players does make a difference. But how much does the measuring stick move?
Well, this is the thing with him. Did you watch him from one summer league game to the next? Because my first game, I wasn't impressed at all. I didn't see anything I liked from the first game, right? Then the second game, I'm like, okay. And then the third game, I'm like, damn, he constantly got better.
Please don't say that, Stacey. If we are trying to maximize that man, putting him at the 5 is not it. If the goal is to maximize, saying that Zion is our center, and if that's the case, then that's not maximizing the best player on our team. That's not maximizing his abilities at all. It's oxymoron.
Nah, I'm not for that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, what are the Pelicans doing? What are y'all doing?
Zion is not our center, but I think he's such a unique player that he can play center minutes in the right lineups. But Zion is more of a. He's more of a small forward that don't shoot than anything. If you really think about it.
Yeah, he is. He's a guy. He's definitely
he's a pure splasher that can create his own opportunities.
Everybody want to put him down, on the basket because of his girth and his athleticism. And it's like, no, that's not smart basketball, people.
No.
I don't know, Lex. I heard your take last. I went back and watched the show that I missed, and I liked the idea of Zion at guard and how you was breaking that down. But I also think it's just as dangerous putting him there as it is at the 5. Because all that running and jumping and lateral movement with the super quick guys, I think you run into the same thing. It's great in spots, but full time, I think you run into the same thing unless Zion is.
That's with anything. We either got to trust what Zion's been doing. I go into every season like, look, it's a brand new season. The dude has been obviously working with Amy Atmore. It's like, are we still keeping him where he was coming in last season or something? Or, I mean, because obviously he made steps this season, he played 70 games. I'm expecting more in the trending in the right direction.
Right.
I mean, but no matter where you have Zion, you can get injured no matter what position you play on the court. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, the thing is, you either got to play confident, but you can't play skittish. You can't be like, oh, we don't want to play him too much at the guard because he might get hurt. Oh, we don't want to play him too much at the 5 because he might get hurt. What? You got to be confident out there. You can't play a guy skittish.
Well, Lex, you make a great point on the skittishness, but that's the energy that the Pelicans have currently been over for some time now. Because
stop being scared. You know what I'm saying? You either believe or you don't.
Well, it's based on the fact that he has a sketchy injury history. He's not there when you need him to be, and he's the star of your team. The Pelicans have been hesitant to put him on Front Street and say, hey, this is the superstar, because in their mind, psychologically, they're trying to wait to see if Zion Williamson can fulfill a full season before they want to kind of put that on them. We'll say he's a star because it's obvious to us, but they're taking it from
Amy Atmore. How many seasons it takes for them to get her?
No, 1 year, one season to get her. They got her last year, but
it took 5 seasons.
Yeah, but it's still there's still only 1 year versus the many other years that he's not there. So it's still overall, and that's not just the Pelicans. That's in a lot of the faithfuls' mindset. They understand, and we realize that, hey, man, for the Pelicans to really get where we think they can get, they can't get there without Zion. And then Zion admitted to it in previous interviews that he wasn't truly dialed in with his, with his getting his stuff right and getting his body right. And it took a lot of criticism and a lot of stuff else for Zion to finally dial in. And he was good enough this offseason to be healthy. He looks in great shape. Carmelo gave him a shout out. And I think he's serious, but it took a while to get here. So that's why a lot of people are like, man, I don't want him. My reason for not wanting to see Zion Williamson at the 5 is because of his fragility. Let's keep it real. He hadn't played 70 games last year was a good take for Zion, but Zion been here for a while. And then we still saying, listen, 70 games is good, but you know how many games it is in the NBA season that we're going to really need that guy to be there to step it up for them to.
What I'm saying is, when do you get hurt the most? We all in play sports.
You're fragile.
Exactly. So if I put him at the guard position for overextended minutes and he's fatigued, it puts him at huge risk for injury. So you run into the same issue there. But nonetheless, at some point, we got to pull all the protections off of him and just let him play. What is Zion? I would ask, what positions do he want to play? How does he envision himself in his game? And what does other members of the coaching staff outside of Willie Green see in Zion's game? Because we know Willie
outside of Willie Green.
Yeah. Like, what are the other people saying? Like, Zion
people whose opinions are not greater than the head coach's opinions of who you're referring to, DC?
No, but the intelligent people with the creative opinion,
cut it out, brother. Don't go there.
We'll have to bring that to Willie.
Don't disparage the man, bro.
No, I'm not saying he's unintelligent. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's uncreative. Let's get this straight.
Yes,
he's not creative. So
okay.
I'm saying the intelligent, creative people on the coaching staff will have to present unique ways of using Zion to Willie, because he's not going to do it unless Zion himself comes out and says, hey, look, I want to do this, coach. I'm good. Willie will let him do it. That's the one thing I like about Willie. I think if you approach him with something, he'll try it. Now, as far as him keep doing it, he ain't going to keep doing it.
Nah, that's fair.
But he will try it.
He's going to backtrack.
That's
remember, take one step forward, take 2 steps back.
There's a lot of coaches that won't even try it and won't hear people out, and it's just their way or nothing. Willie will try it. I don't understand why when he said work, he don't want to stick with it though.
That's the 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That's what I be talking about.
Okay, let's move. Oh, shout out to B Mac, man. Thank you for the super chat, brother B Mac. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
B Mac says it all rides on Willie Green. That's right, Willie Green. It's all on him. Thank you for your super chat, my brother. Much love to you. All right, let's pivot away from Willie Green before things get kind of nasty and move and get to the next question because I know it's coming.
Man. Keep it clean.
I know it's coming. So we're just gonna pivot away from that. We're gonna get to this next question. Y'all feel free to chime in the chat too. Who gets more minutes, Jose Hawk or Matt Ryan? Y'all let us know. Lex, you won't start us off.
I'd probably say Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to look at the question again. But I probably have Jose, all because defense is the top priority with this Pelican squad. Based off the coach's philosophy. So, but really, if it was me, like really, it would depend on the situation.
Okay.
But I know for sure that it's probably going to be Jose. I think the next person that would be behind him, if it's between the two, it would probably be Matt Ryan, because I don't think Hawk can really move the needle as far as with his defense. Because really, it's one of those things. Look, dude, if you want to play, you gotta play defense. I think in summer league he was getting pushed around a lot, so definitely he's got to hit the weight room. But just because of Matt Ryan, his size, as well as his shooting, and he does hustle, I think it would be between Jose and Matt Ryan, but definitely Jose because of the defense.
What you think, DC?
Hawk and Matt Ryan ain't getting no minutes. We know this. So Jose minutes.
I was trying to give him hope.
Ain't going nowhere. Javonte Green, man. Like I told you, this is Najee Marshall, bro. Like he's gonna get all of those Najee Marshall minutes. If you go look at this guy, man, the dude was playing shooting guard, small forward. They had him at power forward. I stayed a game where it looked like he was the damn center. Like Javonte Green is he just do whatever.
Hold on, DC. Hold that. We're gonna go back to that because I got a question for that, bro. So just
I'm just saying, like that's the guy who's throwing a monkey wrench and everything. And also, I think we have a dark horse name that y'all ain't put up there because I think he's a guy that could also take Matt Ryan minutes, or Hawk minutes, or injured Jose minutes. Why does nobody talk about Antonio Reeves, our rookie? He plays defense. He can shoot the 3 ball. And he could get to the rack. Mm-hmm. He got a little bit of a handle, way better handle than Hawk, at least. Antonio Reeves is somebody who come in there and take minutes too. Then you still got CJ and Trey, or Herb and Trey coming off the bench. Man, at this point, I'm starting to believe the goddamn trade rumors about Hawk. It's like, how is he even going to play? I don't want to trade him. But after everything you heard me say, how he even going to get minutes?
Man, how going to another team, though, they'll know exactly what to do with him.
And we're going to look like fools.
Which is sad.
But how with this team, the way it is, and the coach that we have, knowing the disdain he has for people that don't excel defensively, Antonio Reeves, we know he's a good defender. And he played, 4 or 5 years in college? So he's a rookie, but technically that dude, I think he might be older than Hawk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they signed Matt Ryan, cut him, and then brought him back. Is he a trade piece? I mean, I would hope. Really not. I'd like to keep Matt Ryan, but we're not going to play him. And I'd rather get rid of him than Hawk. So I would hope they brought him back at a cheaper contract and going to have him part of a trade or whatever. But, man, we got like 6 damn shooting guards on the team, man. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's.
But he doesn't value shooting either. For real.
Is DeJounte gonna help with the rotations? I don't want because Q. DeJounte gonna help with the rotations because you said he was gonna help unlock some stuff in Willie.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with no rotations, bro.
Not gonna help. No, I'm saying
exactly.
You don't think DeJounte could help?
The coaching matters.
I said DeJounte will help, and Willie will teach him up on what he want him to do, and he'll kind of round out the edges and do what's best. Now, could he make some suggestions? Why not? Because Willie does take suggestions. He does. But you guys are very fair in your
suggestions. We need him to digest them.
We need to make a suggestion box.
We need him to retain it. Okay.
Lex.
Put all our suggestions in there.
It's like, look, we don't just need you to know 1 + 1. We need you to retain that junk and remember it for the rest of your life. And
he knows 1 + 1, Lex. He knows 1 + 1.
No, but it's to be we gotta embrace all of that at all times.
This is the point, though. I keep saying the same thing that's factual. The same thing over and over again. That Willie Green has to do his best coaching job this year. The target's on Willie Green. The octopus didn't.
I think he's in an impossible position to succeed. Though.
Well, DC, and nothing's impossible, brother. If you can come from Jamaica and come to America and have a promising career with playing the guitar behind a mariachi band, anybody can make a living in this great society.
That sounds like the story of Bob Marley, but go on.
It's the land of opportunity, my brother. It's the land of opportunity.
Pretty much.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things